The courtroom was moving fast. Lawyers were confident. The case seemed simple. Then the judge asked for one thing, the bodycam video. When the clip started playing, the entire direction of the case changed. Statements that once sounded solid suddenly fell apart. Faces changed. The room went quiet. One bodycam clip did what hours of testimony could not. It showed the truth exactly as it happened. From that moment on, nothing in this case was the same. Body cameras have changed the justice system forever. Before cameras, cases depended heavily on memory, testimony, and credibility. Now, a single clip can confirm or destroy an entire narrative. This case matters because it shows how fast words lose power when video evidence appears. It also shows why courts trust footage more than opinions. One bodycam clip didn't just help the case, it decided it. To understand why one bodycam clip completely changed everything in court, we first need to understand how most cases are normally built. In many trials, the foundation is words. Police reports, witness statements, and testimony all rely on memory and interpretation. Memory, however, is not a recording. It is a reconstruction. People remember events differently based on stress, fear, bias, and time. Even honest people can remember the same moment in completely different ways. Before body cameras existed, courts had no choice but to weigh credibility, who sounded more believable, who was more consistent, and who appeared calmer on the stand. This meant that confidence, tone, and storytelling often mattered more than raw truth. Bodycam footage changed this balance completely. Unlike a person, a camera does not reinterpret events later. It does not exaggerate. It does not forget. It captures timing, tone, distance, movement, and reactions exactly as they happened. In this case, everything seemed normal until the bodycam clip was introduced. Up until that moment, the case looked predictable. Lawyers had built their arguments around statements. Witnesses had practiced their testimony. Each side believed they knew how the story would sound in court. What they did not fully prepare for was how different the story would look when played on a screen. One of the first traits revealed by the bodycam clip was timeline distortion. Humans are very bad at estimating time under stress. What feels like a few seconds can actually be much longer. In testimony, witnesses often compress or stretch time without realizing it. The bodycam clip showed the exact sequence of events, second by second. This exposed gaps between what people claimed happened and what actually happened. Actions that were described as immediate responses were shown to occur much later. Pauses that were forgotten suddenly became visible. This alone can destroy credibility, even if no one intended to lie. Another critical trait exposed was tone mismatch. In court, people often describe conversations in neutral or calm terms. But bodycam audio captures tone clearly. The clip revealed voices raised, commands repeated, hesitation, sarcasm, or panic, details that words on paper cannot fully express. Tone changes how actions are interpreted. A sentence spoken calmly sounds reasonable. The same sentence spoken aggressively sounds threatening. The bodycam did not change the words. It changed how the words were understood. The bodycam also revealed physical context, which testimony often fails to describe accurately. Distance between people matters. Positioning matters. Whether someone was cornered, blocked, or had room to move can change the legal interpretation of their actions. In this case, what was described as approaching calmly looked very different on video. What was described as non-threatening movement appeared sudden and fast. These visual details changed how the judge and jury evaluated intent. Another important trait revealed by the clip was reaction time. People often claim they reacted instantly because they felt threatened. The bodycam showed exactly how much time passed between stimulus and response. In some moments, there were clear pauses, moments where decisions were made. This matters legally because hesitation can indicate choice rather than instinct. The bodycam forced the court to confront these micro-moments that testimony simply cannot recreate. The clip also exposed selective memory. Several witnesses remembered parts of the incident clearly but seemed to forget other parts entirely. The bodycam showed those missing moments. This does not always mean dishonesty. Human brains protect themselves by minimizing uncomfortable memories. But in court, selective memory weakens reliability. The bodycam did not allow anyone to choose which moments mattered. It showed everything. Another trait revealed was confidence inflation after the fact. People often become more confident in their version of events over time. As they repeat a story, it becomes solid in their mind, even if it is inaccurate. The bodycam disrupted this false certainty. When the video contradicted confident testimony, the confidence itself became suspicious. Jurors tend to trust evidence over certainty, and the clip made that choice easy. The bodycam also revealed environmental factors that were never mentioned in testimony. Background noise, lighting, obstacles, bystanders, and weather all influence behavior. These factors explain why people act the way they do in the moment. Without video, these details are often ignored. With video, they become unavoidable. The court could now see the full environment instead of imagining it. One of the most powerful traits revealed by the bodycam clip was behavior under pressure. People behave differently when they know they are being recorded versus when they think no one is watching. The irony is that most people forget bodycams exist during stressful moments. The clip captured genuine reactions, not rehearsed testimony, not lawyer-prepared answers, but real human behavior. This authenticity made the footage extremely persuasive. The clip also revealed authority dynamics. Who was giving commands, how those commands were delivered, and how they were received became clear. In testimony, authority often sounds orderly. On video, authority can look chaotic or unclear. This matters because compliance and resistance are judged differently depending on clarity of instruction. The bodycam showed whether commands were understandable, repeated, or confusing. Another key trait was escalation speed. The court could see how quickly the situation intensified. Was escalation gradual or sudden? Did anyone attempt to slow things down? These questions are difficult to answer with words alone. The bodycam showed escalation in real time, making it impossible to exaggerate or minimize. The clip also changed how credibility was measured. Before the video, credibility depended on consistency between witnesses. After the video, credibility depended on consistency with the footage. Anyone whose testimony drifted away from the clip immediately lost trust. This shifted power dramatically. The bodycam became the standard, not the people. Another critical trait revealed was nonverbal communication. Body language tells a story words cannot. Hand movements, stance, posture, and eye direction all communicate intention. The bodycam captured subtle movements that changed interpretation. A step forward instead of standing still. A hand reaching instead of resting. These moments became central to legal arguments. The clip also revealed decision-making under uncertainty. People often explain their actions later as clear and logical. The bodycam showed confusion, hesitation, and rapid choices. This humanized some actions and criminalized others. The court could now distinguish between reasonable mistakes and reckless decisions. One of the most damaging traits exposed was post-event narrative shaping. After incidents, people often talk to others, read reports, or hear opinions that influence how they remember events. By the time testimony happens, the memory is no longer pure. The bodycam froze the moment in time before narratives formed. This gave it enormous weight. As the trial progressed, the bodycam clip was replayed again and again. Each time, it became clearer that the case could not escape it. Lawyers adjusted strategies. Arguments shortened. Questions became more careful. The clip controlled the courtroom without saying a word. The bodycam also affected jury psychology. Jurors are instructed to be objective, but they are human. Seeing an event creates emotional understanding that listening does not. The clip allowed jurors to feel present, which increased confidence in their conclusions. This is why video evidence often decides cases. Another important trait revealed was accountability. Cameras create accountability not just for defendants, but for everyone involved. Actions that might have been justified in theory were now judged visually. This raised the standard for explanation. People could no longer hide behind vague language. The clip also eliminated ambiguity. Ambiguity is where arguments live. Video reduces ambiguity. Even when interpretations differ, the raw material is the same. This narrowed the range of possible conclusions. In the end, the bodycam clip did not argue innocence or guilt. It did something more powerful. It replaced stories with reality. It forced the court to stop imagining and start observing. That is why everything changed the moment it was played. This case proves that in modern courtrooms, the most important witness is often not a person at all. It is a camera, silent, unbiased, unforgiving, and once it speaks, every other voice must answer to it. In the end, this case was not decided by the loudest voice, the strongest argument, or the most confident testimony. It was decided by a small camera that never raised its voice at all. One bodycam clip quietly replaced opinions with facts and guesswork with reality. Once it played in court, there was no need for long explanations anymore. The truth was already on the screen. This case reminds us that memory can change, stories can shift, and confidence can be misleading, but video does not change. It does not forget, and it does not take sides. It simply shows what happened. In a courtroom built on words, that kind of evidence is powerful. As technology becomes part of everyday life, moments like this will only become more common. One clip can turn a strong case into a weak one, or expose the truth when everything else is unclear. In the end, justice did not come from debate. It came from seeing the moment as it really was. Sometimes the most important witness doesn't sit in the chair. It hangs quietly on a uniform, waiting for the moment when everything finally becomes clear.